So we made it to level 60 in the new account on Marvel Strike Force. It's good, man. It's an accomplishment. It really helps to open up the game. At this point, we have most game modes unlocked. We have our Blitz Sim unlocked. We have Cosmic Crucible unlocked. We don't have real-time arena yet, so we don't have that battle pass that goes along with that, but it's coming, right? It's coming. And again, we're excited about that. The game's in a really good spot. We can do most things. We can participate in most events, and we're definitely happy about that. So we want to make sure we're still having fun, but we need to keep in mind one important thing. There is an area of concern. Right up to this point, we've probably just been doing whatever we wanted, powering up characters willy-nilly, but we're starting to get into the game proper, the real Marvel Strike Force, and resource management is something we need to be mindful of. For example, we hit a stopgap here when we got to blue gear, right? Notice Ironheart's missing a piece, Lizard's missing a piece, and every character from here on out is going to have to go through this blue gear phase, and you might not have enough. Okay, you might not have enough. Not really much you can do about that. It's just something you need to be mindful of as you're going through the game. The drop rate every time you take an attempt at a node, if you're going to be farming the gear, is just 1. Right, so every attempt, 1 gear piece. So maybe you end up with 2, maybe you end up with 3, 5, whatever, but that's a lot when you need to fill out every character. There's other ways, right, in the stores and things like that. There's more plentiful blue gear in other ways, but this is something that every character has to pass through to level up. Not really a problem at the end game. You can just slide all the way up to max level, but here in the early game, you don't have a stash, so you're not able to do that. Training materials. Now this is a good surprise. I was out, opened up my orbs, and right, I had 2,000. We had 0, now we got 2,000. So training materials, I'm curious to see how it goes. This was a problem last year. Last year, this was a problem in the beginning of the game. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it, how it goes now. But to my surprise, training materials at this point are okay. I want to know what you have to say. Is it still a problem as you advance into the mid-game? Ability materials. This is, okay, we're having a problem here, right? I ran out. Okay, if you can't power all your characters, the characters, that you're using up to acceptable levels, if you can't bring their abilities up, that's an issue. Then the character doesn't function like they're supposed to, like they're designed, and that can cause headaches, right? The team doesn't do, even if we have all the members, the team doesn't do what we think it should do because they simply don't have the ability. So we want to make sure we're taking advantage of opportunities to get a hold of those materials. They had some in the calendar the other day, but I used them all, right? I got those 1,000, but they're already gone. I used them all. So, hey, we're just going to try to keep our eye out for such materials. I'm curious to know, what do you think? Do you have enough ability materials? Is there enough way to farm materials? How's it going with your account right now? Now, the reason why we're bringing this up is because the increasing need to prioritize how we're going to develop our accounts, right? I'm usually powering up the newest team. The newest team's the strongest. And so in this case, the Extreme X-Men. You see we got our Extreme X-Men up there. When we get Forge, we'll get him powered up, Hive Mind. So we're just starring them up right now. We're farming them for stars right now because it's something we can do. But you have to come up with a plan for yourself. I'm always going to say default to the newest team, but you can probably work on a second team along with that. Depending the need for materials, maybe even a third team. But you got to figure out what your priority is. Are you working on an arena team? Are you trying to prioritize arena or raids? Or maybe even a Path to Apocalypse or a Horseman team? Whichever it is, you need to, my suggestion I should say, is you need to prioritize your team in your roster in the first, second, and third priority. So as you saw, I was working on Extreme X-Men, Hive Mind, Sinister Six is my number 3. So when opportunity comes available, I'm working on Sinister Six. We got Kraven there. Once I get him, we'll be bringing him up. If we can find 5 more Kravens, we'll unlock him, right? Because I'm looking for those since they're my number 3 priority. Welcome to Black Silk, level 80. Level 80 join the alliance, Black Silk? Well, hey, welcome aboard, my guy. Welcome aboard. So this is my plan. Those are the 3 teams I'm working on, and then as necessary, I'm trying to work on Pegasus and Invader. Why? Because of Kestrel. Kestrel's team is a Pegasus team, and I can also slot her in on the Invaders as a skill team because I'm trying to build for the Doom raids. I'm trying to make sure once we get into the Doom raids, I can participate to the best of my ability. So my priority right now is to fill my roster out for that purpose. But I'm definitely interested in hearing about what teams you're working on and why. What characters are you finding to be niche or important in the early game, the mid game? And yeah, even though it's wintertime, make sure you still get outside, get some fresh air, get some sunshine while it's there. Hey, make sure you're taking care of yourself and your family. Peace.